Hey, what's up? We're going to talk about the part 2 of the series in leases. Now, ito naman, pag-uusapan naman natin yung lessor accounting. So, just stay tuned. We're setting rule 1 that okay, bago tayo magsimula, gusto ko muna mag-shoutout sa lahat ng BSA class na naka-enroll ngayon online ngayong semestre na to. And of course, also I would like to shout out to Marcus. Hello there. So, itong pag-uusapan natin ngayon is about lessor accounting or lease accounting on the point of view of the lessor. So dito na yung part 1 na ginawa natin dito sa 2 series na to is that yung una yung lease accounting on the point of view of the lessee. Ito naman on the point of view of the lessor, yung nagpapaupa. So etong this lease accounting, no, itong lessor accounting is governed by IFRS number 16. So IFRS number 16 paragraph 61 provides that a leaser may choose either yung lease would be operating lease or finance lease. So operating lease is a lease that does not transfer substantially all the risk and rewards incidental to the ownership of the underlying asset. Conversely, dito naman sa financial lease is a lease that transfers substantially all the risk and rewards incidental to the ownership of the underlying asset. So makikita natin yung difference lang ng operating lease saka dun sa sa financial lease is that dito sa operating lease it does not transfer yung risk and rewards in the future ng asset na yon. Whereas dito sa sa finance lease kasi parang binibili mo na yung asset So merong mga risk yun incidental to the ownership of the underlying asset. So whether the lease is a finance lease or an operating lease depends on the substance of the transaction rather than the form of the contract. So ang sabi dito, further to that, under IFRS number 16 paragraph 63, among others, any of the following situations would normally lead to a lease being classified as finance lease. So, ito yun, So, number 1 is the lease transfers ownership of the underlying asset to the lessee at the end of the lease term. So, mapupunta sa lessee, dun sa umuupa there's a transfer of ownership nung property dun sa lessee at the end of the lease term. Number 2 is that or letter B is that the lessee has an option to purchase the asset at a price which is expected to be sufficiently lower than the fair value at the date of the option becomes exercisable. Ayan, so merong purchase option yung lessee, So this normally happens at the inception of the lease. It is reasonably certain that the option will be exercised. So doon pa lang sa umpisa ng lease period, meron ng kumbaga kasiguraduhan na i-exercise yung option na yon, yung option to purchase the asset. So it is sufficiently lower than the fair value of the option. Yan. Lower than the fair value at the date of the option becomes exercisable. Yan. So, next is yung the lease term is for the major part of the economic life of the underlying asset even if title is not transferred. Ayan. So, lease term is for the major part. Kumbaga parang inexhaust niya na yung economic life nung asset. So that is considered as a finance lease. So pag sinabing in-exhaust na, kumbaga kung 10 taon yung yung useful life ng asset, no? So binigyan sila ng mga almost like 10 years na rin yung yung lease niya dun sa asset na yun. So that is considered as a finance lease. So under US GAAP, major part means at least 75%. So at least siguro mga 8 years, no? So 8 years out of 10 years. So that's like 80% pa, no, of the economic life of an asset. Ayan. So at least ito lang yung yung minimum 75% of the economic life of the asset. So if it's 8 years out of the 10 years, so pasok siya doon sa minimum. And the next one is the present value of the lease payments amounts to substantially all the fair value of the underlying asset at the inception of the lease. And so under US GAAP, substantially all means at least 90% of the fair value of the underlying asset. So kung operating lease naman yan dito sa ini-recognize ng lessor as operating lease. So yung guideline naman doon para sa operating lease under IFRS number 16 paragraph 81 provides that a lessor shall recognize the lease payments as operating lease, no, yung from the operating lease as income, either on a straight line basis or another systematic basis. So yung payment sa kanya ng lessee, yung periodic payment sa kanya, no, he recognizes that as income. Okay, doon naman sa lessee, of course, that is an expense, no? So pwedeng i-recognize niya yan on a systematic basis or yung straight line, no? Ibig sabihin yung bang pare-pareho. So okay. Otherwise stated, yung periodic payments na re-receive ng lessor from the operating lease is a rent income para sa kanya on a periodic basis. So yung underlying asset remains to be the property of the lessor. So hindi sa kanya pa rin yon yung at the end of the lease term. So pagka ganon, yung mga yung depreciation, siya pa rin yung magdi-depreciate ng asset. So kasi hindi niya na ita-transfer dun sa lessee. No, even yung mga taxes and all these things, no, so siya rin yung magbabayad. However, pwede rin niyang ipasa dun sa lessee. And another thing is that yung pagka mayroong security deposit, no, yung ina-advance yung let's say pag start nung lease period, no. So i-recognize yan as liability, no, kasi isusoli niya yan at the end of the lease term. Or kung meron mang yung lease bonus na yan, no, na binigay nung lessee dun sa lessor, he will recognize that as an expense over the term of the lease. Okay, so in order to reinforce yung napag-usapan nating theories about operating lease kanina, no, on the part of the lessor, so may prepare akong a few examples here dun sa transaction regarding operating lease. Okay, so number one, at the beginning of the current year, simple company purchased a machinery for 3 million pesos. Cash for the purpose of leasing it. So nabili niya yung machine for 3 million cash, no? The machine is expected to have a 10-year life and no residual value. So yung journal entry niyan is debit the underlying asset, which is the machinery. So debit machinery for 3 million, and of course naglabas siya ng cash. Cash yung pinabayad niya dun sa asset na machinery. So credit cash for 3 million. Now, pangalawang transaction naman, on the same date, simple company leased the machine to another entity for 3 years. So pinaupa niya itong machine na to na binili niya dito sa number 1. So for 3 years at a monthly rental of 80,000. So yung 80,000 na yan, ito yung monthly. So i-multiply natin sa isang taon yan para makuha natin yung monthly rental kada taon. So payable at the beginning of every month. Yan. So journal entry, debit cash. So 80,000 times 12 So that would be a debit for 960,000, and of course a credit to rent income kasi income natin, this is an operating lease, no? So credit rent income for 960,000. Yung pangatlo naman, medyo ganyan natin, yan. Yung pangatlo naman, simple company received a security deposit of 600,000 to be refunded upon lease expiration. So itong security deposit, parang in-advance sa kanya to ng lessee, no, na pagkatapos ng pag nag-expire na yung lease term, then isusoli niya ito, itong 600,000. But at the meantime, no, nakatanggap siya ng cash, no, for 600,000 doon sa security lease. So debit cash for 600,000 and credit liability for rent deposit, yan, for 600,000, which he will return dun sa lessee at the end of the or the expiration of the lease. And yung pang-apat naman, in addition to the rental, simple company received from the lessee a lease bonus of 120,000 pesos. So the journal entry is debit cash and for 120,000 pesos and credit unearned rent income. Ayan, so i-ano niya yan, i-recognize niya yan, i-amortize na yan during the term of the lease. And then itong yung last one, yung number 5, no? Okay? So ito. Yan. So simple company paid initial direct cost. So pati itong direct cost na to, this is also amortized, no, during the lease term. So journal entry niya, debit deferred in initial direct cost for 300,000 and credit cash, ito yung nagastos niya dun sa direct cost, no, for 300,000. So yung pang-anim na entry naman dito, no, continuing the illustration a while ago, during the current year, simple company paid repair and maintenance of 50,000. So i-expense niya kagad yun, so meaning i-debit niya for repairs and maintenance expense or repairs and maintenance for 50,000 debit, and of course naka-incur siya ng gastos doon, so nagbayad siya ng cash, so credit cash for 50,000 pesos. Number 7, the lease bonus is amortized over 3 years or 40,000 pesos annually. So kung matatandaan mo kanina, yung sa lease bonus is a total of 120,000, no? So ina-amortize natin yan kada taon, no? 'Di ba yung entry kanina, it's debit cash and credit unearned rent income. So ngayon naman, pag inamortize natin siya, i-debit naman natin ngayon yung unearned rent income for 40,000. So that's 120 divided by 40,000, 3 years, so 40,000. And credit rent income, saka pa lang tayo recognize ng income gradually over the life of the lease term, no? For 40,000. And then number 8, the machinery is depreciated over 10 years or 300,000 annually. Kasi 3 million yung asset, di ba? So divided by 10 years, so that's 300,000. So debit depreciation and credit accumulated depreciation, no? The counter asset. Okay, and then number 9, the initial direct cost is recognized as expense over the lease term. Yan. So inamortize din natin yung initial direct cost kanina na 300,000, no? So kada taon 100,000 yung yung amortization niya since 3 years, no? Okay, so 300,000 divided by 3. So that's debit amortization of initial direct cost 100,000 and deferred initial direct cost for 100,000. Now incidentally, itong amortization, no, yung balance of the deferred initial direct cost shall be presented as an addition dun sa carrying amount nung machinery. So compute naman natin ngayon yung carrying amount nung machinery, no, ito yung mag-appear dun sa balance sheet, no. So first, yung machinery, yung total cost niya is 3 million less accumulated depreciation, yearly nagde-depreciate for 300,000 para dun sa machine. And then, so may carrying amount siya na 2.7 million. So, kung natatandaan mo dun sa entry na ginawa natin, dun sa deferred initial cost, no? Okay, nag-debit tayo nung una ng ng 200,000. So, ito yung P account, deferred initial direct cost. Okay, meron tayong dinebit na 300,000 dito, yung sa entry number 5, yung number 5 item. And dun sa number 9 item, yung journal entry number 9, meron naman tayong credit, no, nung inamortize na natin. So, meron pa siyang balance na 200,000 pesos. So, ito i-add natin dun sa, sa carrying amount. So, meron tayong adjusted carrying amount na 2.9 million. Now, para naman dun sa computation ng net income, ito naman yung mag-appear dun sa income statement. Annual rent income natin, kung natatandaan mo, dun sa entry number 2, 960,000 plus lease bonus of 40,000. Okay? So ito yung yearly na nire-recognize natin, no? Okay? So 120 'yon, di ba? Tapos divided by 3, so every year nagre-recognize tayo ng 40,000 as lease bonus. So ito yung total rent income niya. So 1 million. And then less yung depreciation expense for 300,000. Saka yung repairs and maintenance na na-incur natin for 50,000. And yung amortization and direct cost. Okay, which is 100,000. Ayan. So, i-less lang natin lahat ng mga expenses, no, dito sa total rent income. So, meron tayong net rent income na 550,000 pesos. So, ang next type of lease naman, ito yung tinatawag na finance lease. Now, on the part of the lessor, he could either recognize between the two. So, either direct financing lease or sales type lease. Now, the main distinction dito sa dalawa na to is the presence or absence of a manufacturer or yung dealer profit or loss. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, no, sa madalit salita, yung dito sa direct financing lease, nag-recognize lang tayo ng interest income. Meantime, dito sa sales type of lease, nag-recognize tayo ng interest income and yung gross profit on sale. So, to further illustrate that, so unahin muna natin itong direct financing lease. So, at the beginning of the current year, lessor company leased a machinery of another entity with, so inilease niya yung kanyang finance lease dun sa another entity, no, with the following details. Bubulol na ako. Okay, so cost of machinery, this is 1,520,000. Annual rental payable at the end of each year, this is 500,000. So binabayaran tayo, kung tayo yung leaser, tayo yung binabayaran ng 500,000 each year. Lease term for 4 years, useful life of the machinery is also for 4 years, and implicit interest rate is 12%. Now, the present value of ordinary annuity of 1 for 4 years at 12% is 3.04. So, gagawin natin yung journal entry. So, first is to record the direct financing lease. Yan. So, to record the direct financing lease. Yan. Okay. So, again, journal entry. So, this is debit. And this is yan. And this is credit. Okay, so this would be debit lease receivable. Yan. So, ang computation yan is 500,000, 500K. Yan. So, times 4 years yung lease term. Yan. So, this would be 2 million. Yan. So, this is 2 million. And then yung and then of course, i-credit naman din natin dito yung machinery. Yan, so machinery. Okay, hope you can see it. Yeah. Okay. Yan. Para makita naman yung top and yung bang half view at least, no? Hindi nyo alam na naka-shorts lang ako habang ginagawa ko. Naka-polo lang ako pang itaas. Okay, so this one is machinery. So, kung magkano yung machinery dito, this is the cost of the machinery. Kasi, credit natin kasi inuna na natin yun. Kumbaga, parang ibinigay na natin. So, di ba pagka dinidecrease natin yung asset natin, kinikredit natin. So, parang na yun. So, on the part of the lessee naman, no, dinidebit naman niya to machinery. Okay, so, and then this one is unearned rent income. Yan, so, yung difference ng dalawa, so magko-compute tayo So, this one would be this one would be 480,000. So, lagay natin dito, yung balancing figure is 480,000. Now, yung pangalawa naman is to record the collection. Okay, so, this one is to record the collection. Yan. So, kada end of the year, tumatanggap tayo ng 500,000, no, from the finance lease. So, debit cash for 500,000 and credit yung lease receivable. Yan. So, credit na natin yung portion nito kasi nakapagbayad na tayo ng isang beses. Nabayaran na pala tayo. So, lease receivable. Okay. So, nakatanggap na tayo ng 500,000 at the end of the year. And then, yung pangatlo, no, mag-recognize na tayo ng interest income. So, this one is number 3. Okay, I hope you can see it there. Okay, so this is to record the interest income. To record the interest income. Yan. So, this would be debit unearned interest income. Yan. So, and of course, hindi pa natin alam. So, and of course, yung interest income. Interest income. So, paano pag-compute niyan? So, ibabase natin dito sa cost of the machine. So, 1,520,000 times 12%. Yan. Okay, so, yun yung magiging So, babawasan natin yung So, that would be 182,400. And we have an interest income of 182,400. Ayan. So, this is financing lease. So, again, nag-record lang tayo ng interest income, no, at the end of the year. Ayan, so puntahan naman natin yung isa, yung sales type lease. So the next one is yung sales type lease. So dito mag-recognize tayo ng gross profit on sale aside from the interest income. So here, lessor company is a dealer in machinery. So dealer siya in machinery. So ito yung sinabi nating main distinction between yung sales type lease and yung direct lease, yung the presence or absence of the dealer in machinery. So let's try to take this up. At the beginning of the current year, a machinery was leased to leasee company with the following provisions. So annual rental payable at the end of each year, this is 400,000. So lease term niya is 5 years. Useful life of the machinery is also 5 years. Cost of the machinery is 1 million. Implicit interest rate is 12%. Present value of ordinary annuity of 5 years at 12% is 3.60. So magko-compute tayo ng gross profit. Okay, so computation of gross profit. Okay. So umpisahan natin dito, no? Okay, so bali yung ano niya, yung gross rentals niya. Gross rentals. Okay, that would be, so ito yung ano niya. So 400,000. Okay, so ito yung annual rental niya. So times 5 years. Yan, kasi 5 taon yan. Okay, so that would be, of course, that would be 2 million. Yeah. So this is 2 million. And then next is yung ano, yung present value. Okay, so present value. Okay, so this is the present value of rentals. Yan. Para makuha natin yung unearned interest income. So this would be 400,000 times this one, this rate, itong ano na to, this 3.60. So 3.60. Okay, so computing that, so that would be 1,440,000. Okay, so the difference between these two is ito yung ano, so computing natin yung difference. So that would be 560,000. Okay, so 560,000. So this would be your unearned interest income. Unearned interest income. And that's it. Okay, so i-ano natin yan. Of course, this would be also amortized during the life of the lease term. So ilagay lang natin ang double rule. So, and then we're going to compute for the gross profit. So this would be the present value. So umpisa natin dito, present value of rentals, which is actually the sales. Okay, so this would be 1,440,000. And then yung ano, yung i-less natin dito yung cost of the machine. So less cost of the machine, cost of the machinery. Yan, machinery. Okay, this is for 1 million. Now, kita mo hindi na tayo naglalagay ng parenthesis to signify yung less, no? Kasi meron ng less doon. So, isang beses mo lang gagawin. So, kukunin mo. So, this one is 440,000. Yan. Okay, so 440,000. Ito yung gross income. Yan. This would be the gross income on sales. Yan. On sale. So, mag-journal entry tayo. So, to journalize on the books of the lessor company, the sales type lease is recorded as follows. So, again, to record the sale, debit lease receivable, yung nakuha natin kanina, that's 2 million. Credit sales for 1,440,000. And the unearned interest income of 560,000. So the gross profit of 440,000 is not separately recorded kasi included na siya dun sa sales revenue na 1,440,000. And then yung number 2 is to record the cost of goods sold assuming the perpetual system is used. So debit cost of goods sold for 1 million. Okay, so and then yung credit inventory for 1 million. So ito yung cost of machinery. And then kasi ano na sa atin 'yon, kumbaga profit na sa atin 'yon, no? Okay, so cost of goods sold na siya. And then number 3 is to record the collection of the annual rentals, so debit cash. Okay, natanggap na natin. And then credit na natin yung receivable, yung lease receivable of 400,000. So unti-unti natin binabawasan yung 2 million na yan by crediting it, okay, for 400,000. Okay, at the end of the year. And then yung number 4 is to record the interest income for the current year. So the interest income or unearned interest income debit for 172,800 and interest income for 172,800. So the computation there is interest. For the interest is 1,440,000. That's the sales, okay, or yung present value of rentals. That's 1,440,000 times 12%. So you get 172,800. Now, in order to get yung balance at the end of the year para dun sa present value ng rentals. So meron tayong present value of rentals sa January 1 of 1,440,000. And then yung principal payment natin on December 31, annual rental, we have 400,000. Okay, so ililess natin dun yung yung interest na na-compute natin kanina for 172,800. So yung principal portion yan, which is 227,200, ililess naman natin dun sa present value para makuha natin yung balance sa December 31 for 112,800. Okay, so if you have any questions dito sa topic na diniscuss natin about lease accounting on the part of the lessor, dito with regard dun sa operating and financing lease, no? So you may write down your comments, and if you have topics that you want us to discuss dito sa mga susunod na videos, just write down your comments also, because I've been reading a lot of comments dito na nakita ko na merong mga nagsasuggest na gusto nila yung particular topic na to. So chill lang kayo dyan. So gagawin natin yan soon, no? But for now, no? Stay safe. Of course, subscribe, like and share. God bless, and keep your hands clean.